Hello and welcome. Today you'll notice something in front of me that's a little bit out of the ordinary, an empty table. That's because today I wanted to do a quick video talking about something that I don't have and talk about why I don't have it. Today I wanted to discuss the idea of Neopixel. Now I will say if somebody wants to send, I'm willing to be proven wrong, and if somebody wants to send me a Neopixel to review, I'll send it back to you if you want. I'm happy to do it, but in all the research that I have done on Neopixel and all the videos that I've seen and people showing off what they love about them, it just looks like it's profoundly not for me. And so I wanted to take a moment and sort of talk about that because I get asked this question a lot. So if you're not familiar with Neopixel, what it is it's a lot like those old Black Series or Master Replica sabers that had sequences of LEDs running up the blade so that you could scroll on and scroll off. It made the blade more evenly illuminated. It made them a little bit brighter when you ended up with things like a Makoto, which I have reviewed. A Neopixel is basically that same idea, except with more LEDs in it, and they're more programmable. Okay, it means that inside your blade, as opposed to it just being a hollow blade, you have several strings of LEDs running up that thing. Now, the problem with Neopixels, well, actually, first let me talk about what people like about Neopixels. For one, Neopixel blades are brighter. Second, Neopixel blades, through that programmable quality that they have, you can do things like program localized blaster deflection, so that on the blade, instead of the whole thing flashing for a clash or a blaster deflection, only one little part of the blade will flash, which to some makes that more authentic. The other thing about the Neopixel blades is you can program them with things like a flame or an unstable effect. Now, I don't have a video of that I'm going to show you right now. I could borrow somebody else's, but I think it would be a little bit shady of me to borrow somebody else's video of a feature that I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to spend money to buy. So I'll just let you look those up on Google yourself or on any of the forums, and you will be able to find pictures of the three main blade features that a Neopixel offers. That is the flame, which makes the thing look kind of like a pulsing flame, the rain or snow, which hits it with little speckles every so often, and the unstable, which makes the whole thing sort of flux. Now, you can find pictures of those. To me, though, these three features don't look good. An unstable blade can be achieved through like a ripper blade's etching the outside. It can be achieved through a flicker in the blade. But the unstable blade that you get through a Neopixel, much like the rain effect and much like the flame effect, always makes me think of a saber that is doing something that is a malfunction, something that it isn't supposed to do. Now, to each their own, I suppose, but to me, they just look off and unappealing. There is such a thing as a saber that has a programmable LED or high-resolution LED field. I mean, flow artists use them all the time. You can see somebody with a saber that they swing across the air and it leaves like a stream of Celtic knots. Now, if you're going to go for something that's programmable, I'd go for something like that, as opposed to this flame effect that doesn't look like flame to me. It looks like a glitching lightsaber. Looks like what happened with one of the old Master Replicas if you beat it against a tree a lot. So people like that customizable, and I must admit that there is one sort of rainbow pulsing one that is so wrong that it's almost appealing, but I don't think that's worth the cost of the ticket here. What I don't like about the Neopixel, for the most part, I don't like the things that people like about them. The brightness, yes, they definitely are brighter, and that is definitely a plus. But in some of my videos in the past, I've talked about brightness, and by and large, when you're dealing with a Neopixel versus a Tri-Cree, it is brighter, just like one type of wound can be more fatal than another. At some point, it just gets to be overkill. It is brighter, and if every little instance, every little lumen matters to you, then maybe a Neopixel is worth it. For me, a Tri-Cree is plenty bright, and I can just go with that. So the brightness, the programmability, the things that I don't like about it is that you are dealing with added cost. And not only is it added cost, but it's a lot of added cost. The blade for a Neopixel, you take a blade that you can get $10 in an Ultra Saber grab bag, you install it with a Neopixel, and you're looking at least about an $80 to $100 blade. So it increases the cost of that blade by about 10 times. You're dealing with a blade also that introduces some fragility that it didn't have before. Now, I have been told about Neopixels and how durable they are, and I've seen the durability tests of people whacking them with things. And that's well and good, and they do hold up and take a decent amount of hits. I've actually seen some videos of people in Saber Legion fighting with them, which is great. But you are still dealing with something that has mechanical parts and a part of the saber that's designed to be smashed against things. So the potential for damage is there, and the potential and the cost to repair that damage is great. You're dealing with a saber where you're dealing with a blade that, again, is a expensive piece of equipment, so it can't be swapped in and out for different day blades like a standard one would. I have seen Ripper blades that have been installed with Neopixel, and those still look great. They look like Ripper blades, but again, why do it? So the cost, it can easily double the cost of a saber for you if you're dealing with a Neopixel install. And a lot of smiths think that it's a giant pain in the ass. The other thing about it is the weight. Technically speaking, or typically speaking with a lightsaber, you're dealing with something where most of the weight is in the handle. Now that allows you to do some things with a lightsaber, like flip it in the air, and it keeps a tight rotation right there on that hilt. When you install electronics in the blade, you end up with a heavier blade, which throws off the point of balance onto the blade and starts to make the thing flip, kind of like you would flip or kind of like a hammer would flip, or just a stick, which doesn't have the same effect. You can't do some of the same things that you can with it. So by and large, again, if you're dealing with a show piece, if that's something that you're interested in having and every lumen is of importance to you, or if you want to tinker with the electronics and the programmability, great, Neopixel might be right for you. But from a performance standpoint, from somebody who goes out and actually uses these things, and spins them around and flips them and sometimes drops them and sometimes throws them against the tree, those effects that they offer, they just don't do it for me. So I wanted to take a moment here to justify that stance for you. I'm going to lead this into a video that talks about sound cards, because so often right now when you're looking at a new sound card, it's all about what does this offer for Neopixel. So I wanted to get this out of the way so that I can refer to it mostly, but if it has been of use to you, then please join me back for more. If you feel that you disagree and you must let the hate flow, by all means, feel free to use the comment section to vent whatever spleen you need to vent. But that's my take on Neopixel. That's why the table in front of me is empty. I'm perfectly willing to be proven wrong, but I'm not willing to spend a couple $100 to be proven wrong when I'm pretty sure that I'm not. So I'll see you back for more if I haven't turned you off and made you hit the unsubscribe by disagreeing with the sacred cow of the industry right now. But if I haven't, see you back next time.